We're in Paris, Kentucky, where 30-year-old Bass Webb has been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. This surveillance video taken outside a Kentucky jail a week earlier captured the moment when Webb, a former inmate there who served 3 months on assault charges, accelerated his car and tried to run over 2 jail employees. One man was able to get out of the way, but one man was injured after Webb's vehicle pinned him against a wall. At his first court appearance before Judge Vanessa Dixon, Webb's bad behavior continued.
Can you word your side?
Yeah.
That be yes?
Yes.
Judge Dixon then informed Webb she's recusing herself from the trial because she knew the 2 jail employees he targeted with his vehicle.
There's no way I'm going to try this case or have any further proceedings, or I have to see you for one further setting. Except for the very next week.
Watch again as Webb literally spit on the judge.
Charge.
But this incident is far from the last time Bass Webb will spit in the face of the law. While waiting to go to trial, he and 4 other inmates incited a riot inside the Fayette County Detention Center. After being shot with beanbag bullets, then hit in the neck by a pepper ball, Webb whips a metal telephone box at a corrections officer.
If I were to launch this at someone 10 feet away, because this is capable of stopping that, does not mean that that is not readily capable of causing death or serious physical injury.
Webb was found guilty of 3rd-degree assault and sentenced to 15 years in prison. And for his attempt to run over the 2 jail employees, he was later found guilty of 2 counts of attempted murder and got an additional 37 years. Bass Webb was facing a total of 52 years behind bars, but more disturbing accusations were on the way. While incarcerated, he was charged with the unsolved murder of an ex-girlfriend. Facing a possible death sentence if convicted at trial, Webb pled guilty to the murder and got an additional 50 years. Now, 5 years later, Bass Webb is back in court yet again after being charged with the murder of a different girlfriend nearly a decade earlier. The cold case came back to haunt him after a jailhouse tip led to the discovery of the woman's remains. This time, as he's let in, he reveals a new sinister look that shocks those in attendance. A closer look at Webb's recent head tattoos reveals a demented murder hit list. It reads, "Those that must die, all judges, all prosecutors, all cops, the media." Below that, 3 rats have been scratched out, and many more, plus an expletive on the other side. Gruesome details emerge about how Webb choked his then-girlfriend to death and buried her body in a shallow grave.
Mr. Webb, do you want to come forward?
When the judge asks Webb to come forward, he remains seated and smiles. Finally, after more than a week in the courtroom, the judge reads the jury's verdict.
You have found the defendant guilty of the offense of intentional murder.
Bass Webb is then sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Communications, Warhurst.
Yeah, I want to report a crime that's about to happen.
What do you mean a crime that's about to happen?
Yeah, there's about to be a crime that's going to happen if my kids don't come back to me, you stupid because your stupid judges don't want to bring people to courtrooms. I got a gun pointed at your building.
Sir, what is going on?
Who the you calling, sir, you stupid? Where's your judge warrant at? You gonna bring that out in handcuffs and I'm gonna execute that son of a right in the street. I'm letting you know I'm gonna shoot this. You gonna with my kids.
Where are you at, sir?
I just told you I'm outside of her building waiting for her to get there in the morning. I'm gonna pop a cap in that. You stupid.
Detectives identify the anonymous caller and track him down. Alan McCarty is arrested and charged with making death threats against a judge, whom he mistakenly believes took his children away in a child custody case. Now, a year later, in front of a different judge, his trial begins.
All right, back on the record, Mr. McCarty, President. He's under oath from the start of the trial.
No, I'm not. I'm not under oath.
I raise your right hand when I swear you in.
I'm not under oath.
Raise your right hand, please.
That's your bad finger. I didn't appreciate that.
So you're going to threaten me like you did the other day?
Do you solemnly swear or
Threaten you to participate here.
No, you threatened my life the other day. I am not under oath. This is being done unconstitutionally. Y'all took my kids unrightfully. You want to allow my witnesses here? You want to allow my paperwork? Y'all took all my court paperwork.
We haven't started the trial yet.
It doesn't matter. You still deny it. You want to take my kids from me and act like that? You and that. You and the took my kids.
Holly, make sure you take down what I say. He was sworn in.
No, I was not sworn in.
Yes.
I've never been sworn in this court. Bring the camera back. He's making this up.
So, that being said, number one, I need to know whether or not you want to be here during the trial process.
No.
All right, do you want to testify, though?
No, I don't. This is all being done unconstitutionally, unrightfully.
Do you want to be in the room or not?
Do you want to my
I prefer not to, sir.
Well, you got a mouth for it.
No, do you want to be here or not?
Oh, who the to sit here while you take their kids? This is a conflict of interest. Every right y'all I supposedly have you violated. Can I get some more, please? I got a lot more cussing to do, and I need to wet my mouth.
Do you want to be here when the jury's here?
What the do you think?
I don't know. I need you to answer.
McCarty decides he'll stay for witness testimony,
Oh, because my other answers wasn't good enough.
but is ordered out after continuing with his outbursts. McCarty's eventually found guilty. He returns the following month for sentencing.
Everyone ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, State of Florida versus Alan McCarty Jr., who is present here today on two reasons. One is to sentence on a jury verdict that had been accepted, but we're also here on an order to show cause, which I would like to address first. First of all, if I haven't formally already, but you're before the court, Mr. McCarty, to show cause why I should not hold you in contempt for behavior that you demonstrated during the jury trial. You threatened the unborn child of the prosecutor.
What a bunch of lies, you stupid piece of
Then also
You threatened my life.
in the
You
back room.
No, I'm not standing.
Not resisting.
I'm not resisting. I'm just not standing up. I'm not standing. I don't have to stand.
McCarty's removed again. This time he's placed in a back room with a one-way mirror.
Count one, I'm going to adjudicate him guilty, sentence him to 15 years in Florida State Prison. As to count two, I'm going to adjudicate him guilty, sentence him to 5 years in state prison to run consecutive to count one. So a total of 20 years.
McCarty's currently serving his sentence in a Florida state prison. We're now in Washtenaw County Trial Court in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Your Honor, my client and I have reviewed the pre-sentence report in this matter. We don't find any factual errors.
This is 17-year-old Donta Wright. Wright's in court today to receive his sentence for the shooting death of high school student Jordan Klee. He's pled guilty to armed robbery, conspiracy to commit armed robbery, a felony firearm violation, and second-degree murder. As part of the sentencing, a family member makes a victim impact statement on behalf of the victim's mother, who's too overcome with emotion to speak.
I sincerely hope that whatever it was you wanted so badly that you felt the need to murder my son was worth the next at least 52 years of your continued existence. You won't get the luxury of raising your child because you took mine away.
Wright's demeanor during this statement is not what you might expect.
Your actions have led you to a prison cell, but have also created an empty cell that I live in every day. While you can still hope to be released one day, I'll never escape my help. You are still alive, but Jordan has no future. Thank you, Your Honor. We're done.
Wright and his attorney approached the podium.
Your Honor, my client wants to address the court.
Oh, of course. Yes, sir. Mr. Wright, what would you like to say?
I just want to tell y'all, I'll be home soon. R.I.P. Keon. I love my family.
That's all you got to say.
That opportunity could have been used to show remorse to the court for his actions. It wasn't.
You know, I have never in 23 years approximately ever not accepted a sentence agreement between the parties because it's a bargained for sentence by the parties. But watching you sit there, smile and laugh and shake your head like this was no big deal, I'm very tempted to just say, I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial. And if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die there. That's what I'm tempted to do.
The judge does have the authority to reject the plea deal.
Mr. Bella, do you want me to accept this sentence agreement?
Your Honor, before I answer the court's question, I would like an opportunity to discuss it with the victim's family.
Okay.
If the court would pass it, I would appreciate it.
I'd be happy to do that. We'll pass this matter.
It's now up to the prosecution to decide whether or not to dismiss the agreement and pursue a trial.
I have had a very lengthy discussion with the victim's mother as well as his grandparents and some family members. They understand that obviously this is the defendant who brutally murdered their son by shooting him in the back of the head. He's shown absolutely no remorse. However, the Glee family does want to move on with this. They want to get some closure from this case. And they want to try and forgive this defendant, even though all of his actions for what he did. And they are asking, as well as the people, that you proceed with the sentence.
Okay.
Wright has another opportunity to address the court, this time through his attorney.
Your Honor, my client asked me to apologize to the court. His smiling was in no way meant as disrespectful either to the family, to the victim, or to this court. My client is 17 years old. He has some emotional problems and frankly was scared. And some people display fear by smiling. He really meant no disrespect. He does take this very seriously, and I think he does feel bad about it.
The judge accepts the sentencing agreement, which puts him behind bars for 25 to 52 years. Next, we're in Bakersfield, California, for the arraignment of Tobias Roman. The 27-year-old was charged with multiple crimes, including attempted robbery, threatening with attempt to terrorize, and exhibiting a deadly weapon for allegedly stalking a female employee at a shopping mall.
Roman, stand up.
I can't stand up right now. I'm right here.
And now his initial hearing is off to a rocky start.
Stand up, Roman. What?
Once on his feet, the judge then asks a standard procedural question.
Mr. Roman, what is your true and correct name?
Tobias, my first name. That's it. Giggles or Tobias. That's it. Don't call me nothing else.
Giggles may be his street name, but there's nothing funny about the crimes he's accused of committing.
This time I will appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Roman. The charges, Mr. Roman, are attempted robbery.
Hey,
Mr. Roman, you need to be quiet.
Yeah, you need to be quiet.
After being interrupted and then told to be quiet, Judge Charles Bremer gives the defendant a final warning.
You got one more chance and then you're going to be removed from the courtroom. That'll be your choice.
For a second, it appears Giggles might quiet down, but his silence is short-lived.
You need to leave.
But as he's being led out of the courtroom, Roman gets in the last word.
See? I'm gonna murder you when I see you. See? I'm gonna murder you when I see you.
The judge heard that comment loud and clear.
I'd like to note for the record, Mr. Roman's statement on the record that he will murder me if he sees me and I'm going to request law enforcement take the appropriate action.
Tobias Roman later pled no contest to the charge of threatening a public official and was sentenced to 8 months in prison. Of his original charges, all were dismissed except for threatening with intent to terrorize. He pled no contest and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. We're at the Jefferson District Court in Louisville, Kentucky, for a bond hearing involving defendant Bryce Rhodes. Rhodes has already been indicted on multiple charges, including the murders of 3 people, 2 of them teenage boys. Since his arrest, Rhodes' behavior has been unpredictable and at times violent. As a result, he's wheeled in wearing restraints and a spit mask.
Mr. Rhodes, you can just bring him up right here.
Why y'all have me come out like this for?
I think you know why.
What?
You know exactly why.
Help me
Now,
out.
listen, stop talking. You have been...
Swear to God.
Are you done?
No, I ain't done.
You've been charged with
You, I don't
assault
care
in the
what I've
4th
been charged
degree.
with. Why
I'm
you
going to keep
charging
talking
me
because I don't want to have to see you back
care.
here for this.
What you think can't find out where you live at? What you think at? I don't about none of that. I ain't do.
So you're saying you're going to find out where I live
I don't
at?
give a about none of that. You got something, I'll be out.
Okay.
Yeah, all
You've been
right. I
charged
know,
with
okay.
assault in the 4th degree,
I don't care
minor
about none of
injury,
that.
terroristic threatening in the 3rd degree, and harassment with physical contact.
give a
There are new charges. I'm entering a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Would you
No,
like
I'm
me to
not
read
guilty.
the arrest warrant to you?
No, I'm not guilty.
I am setting a bond of $15,000 full cash on that on those charges, and the other case, once this actually gets served on you, is going to be dismissed without prejudice as duplicate. Do you have any questions? Would you like appointment of a public
Not
defender?
guilty. Not guilty.
I just said that.
Not guilty.
I
I'll
just
be
said
out.
that.
I'll be out.
Okay,
All
I
right.
just said that.
All right.
And
Take
would
me
you
back
like
to
an
my cell.
attorney?
Take me back to my cell.
I'm not taking you anywhere. They can take you back, but
All
would
right.
you like an attorney?
All right.
Okay. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office.
Rhodes is wheeled out of court and back into custody. The judge waits to address the prosecutor.
Ms. Shoring, that was a threat against the court. I think that I'm asking the county attorney's office to take that into account and consider what to do with that.
As a result of this incident, Rhodes is hit with a new charge of terroristic threatening in the 3rd degree and intimidating a participant in the legal process. His case is ongoing. We take you inside the Jackson County Courthouse and the sentencing of 31-year-old Camilla Gamet. She was convicted of first-degree murder in the brutal killing of her boyfriend, Marcel Hill. According to the evidence presented at trial, Gamet used a frying pan, a floor lamp, and a large knife, which she used to stab Hill a dozen times. Gamet claimed self-defense, saying she believed Hill was an intruder. When the verdict came back guilty, Gamet sticks to her story. Though local news only caught a handful of moments, courtroom cameras captured every minute.
Is there anything that you want to tell the court before I impose sentence? Is there anything you want to tell the victim's family who are here today?
I just want to say that I stick by the truth, which is that I did react in self-defense. I did love Marcel, and basically at trial, the way I was portrayed, mostly everything was lies. There was a little bit of truth, but mostly I was convicted off of lies, and I do plan to appeal it, and that's all I have to say.
Judge John McBain did not agree.
I have to say.
Okay. Got anything you want to tell the court about the 12 stab wounds that you did in self-defense?
The alleged 12 stab wounds?
Well, I don't think the pathologist lied about those.
No, I don't have anything further to say.
Before Gamet's sentencing, the victim's aunt, Diana Banks Joyner, addressed both Gamet and the court.
You did leave a big hole in our hearts and a void that will never be filled. You took the life of our sister's only child. You took a bloodline out of our family. And we hope that each and every day that you remember the cries of help that he screamed as you plunged that knife in and out of his body.
The defendant appeared to be unmoved by anything Miss Banks had to say.
So we, the family of Marcel, would like to thank God for the special gift that you will receive today from the judge.
Is that it?
When I finish, I'll let you know.
Oh, okay. Serious?
If you talk again, I'll have my court officer put a piece of duct tape in your mouth. You understand it? Try it one more time and see what happens to your mouth. You got something else to say?
Even with the threat of duct tape, Gamut continues.
I'm done.
Miss Sonia, get the duct tape.
I'll sit here and listen to the lies.
You know what? She's got a right to talk to the court after you murdered a relative of hers. And you're going to shut your mouth or I'm going to have some duct tape put on it.
Well, he attacked
All right. We'll wait here for a moment till we can get her quiet.
While the judge waits for duct tape to arrive, he allows Banks to continue.
Remember Marcel and the love you had for him as we ask God to teach us to learn to forgive you because there is no love. Amen.
And then the prosecutor rips into Gamut.
You know, quite frankly, I have no idea how she just did that with the composure that she did. I thank God also that jury made the only right decision. And that is that today we have no choice but to send her where she will also die.
But before it was all over, it was Judge McBain who had the last word.
This is one of the worst cold-blooded murders I've seen in a long time. You end up ultimately hit him in the head so hard with a pan that you actually cave in the front of his skull, and then you stabbed him no less than 12 times. You gutted him like a fish in that apartment, too. You were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead. I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
Judge McBain sentenced Gamut to life in prison without the chance of parole. Next, we're in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, for the arraignment of Isaiah Gardenhire. The 40-year-old was arrested after reportedly going on a 2-day crime spree that forced a community into lockdown. Gardenhire reportedly sexually assaulted his girlfriend in her home, then killed her 13-year-old daughter before fleeing to a nearby apartment complex. There, he allegedly took a man and woman hostage, sexually assaulted the female, robbed them, and then stole their car. Gardenhire would eventually turn himself into police. But now, as Judge Sarah Spencer Noggle reads the long list of charges against him,
Count 1, homicide, open murder, statutory short form. Count 2, criminal sexual conduct, first degree, weapon use.
he appears to nod off.
DNA to be taken upon arrest. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under statute if the assault is place of confinement. Count 6 is unlawful imprisonment.
Moments later, another audible yawn distracts from the hearing.
DNA to be taken upon arrest. The court may impose a consecutive sentence under statute, and it is also a Tier 3 offense.
But the judge stays on track and asks prosecuting attorney David Barbary to weigh in on Gardenhire's bond conditions.
Looking at Mr. Gardenhire's criminal history is pretty significant. His criminal history consists of violent offenses, weapons offenses, failures to appear in court.
The prosecutor also mentions that Gardenhire was actually out on bond for a separate criminal sexual misconduct case in another county when he went on the alleged 2-day crime spree.
In this case, due to the fact that Mr. Gardenhire is both charged with murder and the fact that he was on bond at the time that the allegations occurred.
Charge her with murder because she's the one who did it.
With the prosecutor mid-sentence, Gardenhire interrupts, claiming that his girlfriend should be charged with the murder of her daughter, not him.
Charge her with murder because she's the one who did it.
Isaiah.
Everything else, no.
All right, Mr. Gardenhire, this is your warning. The court will mute your microphone if you speak out of turn again.
Your Honor, we would request that Mr. Gardenhire be held without bond, or in the alternative, that bond be set as $2 million cash surety.
All right, thank you. Mr. Barbary, Mr. Gardenhire, I'm going to ask that you behave in a, all right. I'm going to ask you to behave in a manner that is appropriate for a court proceeding. particularly given the fact that right now I'm considering whether or not to allow your release on bond. If I have any more acting out, sir, we're going to turn off your audio and your video. Go ahead and mute his audio and video. Thank you.
After further discussing his bond conditions, Gardenhire is brought back into the conversation, seemingly even less interested than before.
All right, the court has considered the factors found in MCR 6.106 and finds that bond in the amount of $3 million, cash or surety, is appropriate.
This time, the defendant flips the judge the bird, first with one hand, then follows it up with a hearing-ending two-hander.
All right, go ahead and turn his video off, please.
The hearing was ultimately cut short due to Gardenhire's behavior. Isaiah Gardenhire is being held on $3 million bond for 12 criminal charges, including home invasion, first-degree criminal sexual misconduct, and murder.
Austin Boone.
Next, we're in Louisville, Kentucky, where 20-year-old Austin Boone is appearing on charges of speeding and possession of drug paraphernalia. Boone's been prepped by his attorney. But when Judge Stephanie Pierce Burke hits him with a tough question,
How do you plead to the speeding 22 over and a possession of drug paraphernalia on January 23rd?
he crumbles under the pressure.
For guidance, you told me to say guilty or not guilty.
Well, if you plead guilty, then I can give you the plea agreement that you made.
Yeah, that whatever the agreement was.
Okay, the agreement was to plead guilty and get a $44 fine plus traffic school plus a $100 fine on the drug paraphernalia. You would pay that today and then go to traffic school so that you would not get the 6 points on your license. Is that what you understood? Okay.
Despite his initial confusion, it looks like Boone will be on his way after accepting the conditions of his plea agreement. But as the judge finalizes the details,
So you pay $178 today.
a bailiff notices a problem with Boone's courtroom attire.
Pull your pants up.
178 owed.
Just how does it go?
Not liking his response, the bailiff brings Boone's sagging pants to Judge Burke's attention.
Why is it that he need to pull his pants up?
Yeah. Your pants need to be up when you're in a courtroom.
They are they're not. Oh,
Sir, up.
They're up. What?
He's got a belt on, Judge, and they hang around his.
They're up. I don't
Okay,
understand what the
that's
problem is.
inappropriate. They need to be around your waist,
I'm
not
just here
below
to
your
pay.
bottom.
Pull your pants up, you've been just.
Not below your bottom.
I mean, what's my back? Why don't I see my basketball shorts? It's not even my boxers.
While some people in the courtroom find the sagging pants crackdown amusing, Judge Burke does not.
Do you understand that you're in a court?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you do what the judge says, and that is pull your pants up around your waist.
What do you want me to do?
Pull your pants up. If you have to tighten your belt, you're going to be an adult when you come to court. Do you understand?
Yes, but right now I'm trying to leave court.
You're going to stay a lot longer than you like if you don't pull your pants up.
Man, they are up. What do you want from me? They're up.
Have a seat.
Have a seat at your box.
Have a seat. Because I said so.
Austin Boone might be laughing now, but when he's called back in front of Judge Burke 15 minutes later, she reminds him who wears the pants in the courtroom.
I instructed you to pull your pants up on a number of occasions and gave you the opportunity to do that. Instead, you wanted to argue about it and act a fool. When I put you in that box, that was to give you a few moments so that I could discuss that with you privately at the end of this docket.
But rather than using his time in the jury box to pull up his big boy pants, Boone took them off instead. He now appears just wearing the athletic shorts that were underneath.
By removing your pants, it was extremely poor judgment. Okay, I'm holding you in contempt. I'm going to sentence you to 7 days to serve for direct contempt of court.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Why?
Because you don't know how to act
They
like a
couldn't be
grown-up.
high enough for you, so I took them off.
As bailiffs take Boone into custody, he voices a major concern.
But what about my pants though?
Did you get them?
There's a Gucci down on there.
I don't care what you got on there. I don't
You'll get your property.
Austin Boone ultimately served 2 days in jail for the contempt of court charge. As for his original charges of speeding and possession of drug paraphernalia, the judge honored his plea agreement, ordering him to attend traffic school and pay $178 in fines.
But what about my pants though?
Milton Watts.
Next, we're in Berea Municipal Court. The defendant, 21-year-old Milton Watts, has turned himself in after a warrant was issued for his arrest for failure to appear on a domestic violence charge.
You were supposed to be here last month. You did not appear. Why weren't you here?
My mom didn't show up. Somebody died in the family. There was no reason for me to be here.
Well, it's not an engraved invitation, son. It's a court order.
Things are clearly off to a rocky start between Watts and Judge Chris Green. But Watts seems comfortable handling the situation on his own.
Your attorney withdrew, so you'll have to hire an attorney?
I don't need an attorney.
You're a lawyer?
Nope.
Unfortunately for Watts, his grasp on the legal process seems spotty at best.
Do you want to talk to me about me at bond with me? What do you want to tell me?
About what?
Bond?
Don't really give a to be honest with you.
Judge Green, who's known for his no-nonsense style, doesn't seem particularly receptive to the attitude.
That's going to cost you 30 days in the county jail for contempt. Cuff him if you got the cuffs. Hold on, it's $5,000 cash surety bond, subject to the temporary protection order.
Watts' remarks have already cost him dearly. And now, he doubles down.
He just swore at the judge. Can I give you a piece of advice?
What?
You can either make life easy or you can make life hard.
I already ruined my life.
That's 60. You want to go for 90? That's 90 more. That's 180. That's 306.
Now I gotta come here and my life up. You.
Melvin, stop.
How many days you want to give me now? Are you sure counting?
Yeah, I'm at about a year right now in contempt, so.
Watts' mother and sister attempt to intervene, but there is no stopping the foul-mouthed tirade.
I don't care.
I don't give a you.
Melvin, stop.
Everybody. You.
Melvin.
Power.
Good.
Fuck the power.
Good.
That's stupid. Melvin, stop. Stop it. You're not even getting in trouble. Melvin, Melvin, listen. You're going
Who the f*** is he telling me anything?
Melvin, just let him do whatever he wants to do. Melvin.
Deputies and other court staff quickly arrive at the courtroom for backup.
Melvin.
Just let him do what you're not going to do anything. You're just causing more.
That's ignorant.
That's what he is.
Despite the judge going all the way up to 360 days in the heat of the moment, once Watts calmed down, the judge ultimately decided to reduce the sentence to 90 days in jail, or 4 days per four-letter word. For the initial domestic violence charge he was originally in court for, he later pled no contest and was sentenced to 5 days in jail. We head now to Jackson, Michigan, to the Fourth Circuit Court. A personal protection violation hearing is on against this man, Jacob Larson. The defendant's accused of sending unwanted advances through Facebook messages to this woman seated here, a former high school acquaintance. This incident's a violation of a restraining order against Jacob.
All those messages were like, a lot of them were like last year. Let me ask, how many of them were after, I'm asking her, how many of them were after the day of the PPO?
22.
22. I don't post on that much. What's that? I don't post on that much.
This is the second time the judge has questioned the defendant about his contact with the plaintiff. In fact, the same judge had issued the defendant's original PPO 4 months earlier.
I know, but it's like this fatal attraction kind of stuff that I warned you about last time. I told you to just leave her alone. She was a classmate of yours. She apparently has no interest in seeing
I want her to tell me to leave her alone.
You know what? I told you to leave her alone. And apparently that didn't get through loud and clear. So today, you're going to jail for 3 days. And the next time you violate it, you're going to jail for...
You and her are
You know what? You got a bad attitude. You had a bad attitude last time you were in court. Okay?
You and her are buddy-buddy. Y'all get along. Y'all are...
45 days county jail. Okay? 93 days in the county jail. You want to go for a year? Try it right now. One more word out of you, it'll be a year of county.
Over Facebook. Really?
Over violations of my PPO and your conduct in the courtroom. 93 days in count.
The judge, clearly agitated by the defiant defendant, is sending him to jail.
I ain't never threatened
Stand up. Cuff him. Stand up. Yeah.
Buddy.
Stand up. You're going to jail for a year in the county. 365 days county jail.
Can't do that.
Appeal it.
I will.
Good.
Put your hands
behind your back
Tell me to leave you alone. Tell me to leave you alone. Tell me right now.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Tase his ass right now.
The judge now steps in to help subdue the defendant.
Put it down. That's enough for you. All right? We'll make it 93. You can think about it. All right?
Over Facebook.
You know her. Well, so I know her. That's not in the community. Get to know you all too much.
I'm a good person.
That's all right. 93 days.
Larson sentenced to 93 days in county jail.
Can't tell me to leave you alone. Can't tell me to leave you alone.
What? Whoa. Get back! Get back! Get back!
Next, we go to a bond hearing in Elyria, Ohio. Appearing remotely is the defendant, Ebony Burks. She's charged with misdemeanor assault and domestic violence against her grandfather, Shedrick McRae, and his companion. At the bench is Judge Gary Bennett.
Good morning, Miss Burks.
Good morning.
After reading the charges, the judge asked Burks how she'd like to plead.
You have 3 pleas available to you today. Guilty, not guilty, and no contest. What plea would you enter?
I'm not guilty.
So far, so good. The judge sets bond for the 2 charges at $15,000. His only condition is that Burks not be in contact with the victims, which could be difficult since she shares a home with McRae.
No contact means you can't call him, you can't write him, you can't text him, you can't email him, can't leave a message on some social media, you can't go visit him. If you go someplace, even though you may have arrived first and one of them shows up, you have to leave.
So you gonna tell me I can't go home?
I'm telling you, you can't go home. If you live with Mr. McRae, you cannot return to that residence.
Oh, but how you just gonna tell me I can't go home though?
What?
How you gonna tell me I can't go to my home?
I just did.
Typically, right about now, a lawyer or even a judge might try to de-escalate the situation. But it's clear this is not a typical bond hearing.
How you gonna tell me I can't go to my home?
I just did.
Well, I bet I do.
Well, then you're in contempt, young lady, and you've got 30 days. So you're not going. You're not what?
Whoa.
Get back! Get back!
Get back!
That's another 30 days. That's 60 days.
So what?
90 days.
So?
120 days.
Okay, and?
180 days.
Oh! Please, quiet. Get off me! Get your hands off me, man!
It looks like Burks may be finished.
What else you got to say?
Hold on, she's coming back.
Nothing. We'll talk in 6 months when you're ready to come back for your case.
I ain't got money.
That's 200 days. You got anything else to say, Miss Burks? That's 300 days.
Though she racked up 300 days, Burks only ended up serving 88. According to Judge Bennett, it was the longest sentence he's ever imposed for contempt of court. As for her assault and domestic violence charges, They were suspended, but she was forced to enter a substance abuse program.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Not as sorry as she's gonna be.
He's high risk, so I'm going to raise the bond to $5,000.
We're at bond court in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, I think 1,000 is reasonable given that these are felony charges. Good luck, sir.
Judge Smith has a full plate of bond hearings.
I actually have a car that I'm trying to sell on Craigslist.
Stop talking. I'm going to give you a public defender.
Michael Ray, cases 87 and 88.
Next up is Michael Ray, who's facing 4 charges, including criminal trespassing and second-degree assault. A bond or a bail hearing is usually a quick proceeding if the defendant is cooperative. The prosecutor suggests a bail amount for Ray based on the crime and the defendant's history.
Your Honor, the county's requesting $25,000 full cash behind all charges.
You think that's funny?
I think that's hilarious.
We weren't done.
Ray might feel $25,000 is too high, but sarcasm won't get him a reduction, and the judge lets him know it.
All right, so bond is $50,000. No bail credit,
I didn't
danger
get
to
a chance.
community. Thinks these are funny charges. He's lucky I didn't hold him in contempt.
Ray just had his bond doubled. But as he re-enters the hallway, he has something else to say.
Hope I see him in the street.
Bring him in. I'm holding him in contempt. Adding charges.
Ray's language isn't the only thing to upset the judge. According to court officials, the defendant also gave her the middle finger.
30 days to serve on contempt for flipping me off twice.
Judge calls him back, but it looks like he's gone.
If we bring him back in, he's just gonna get another 30 days for doing something else.
So they move on to the next case.
Case number 90, Scott Raymer.
When, sure enough, Ray comes back for more.
Oh, here he comes. Sir, I'm holding you in contempt for what you did.
What you holding me in?
And so,
You shut up, man.
all right, you can take him back. 100 days to serve.
100 days to serve? Okay.
Yeah.
For what? Because of 2 EPOs in a criminal mission case?
That's right, the judge just gave him 100 days in jail.
He's done.
Ray could just walk away without making matters even worse, but he goes a different route.
Your Honor, I think we need to.
Yeah.
Can we bring him back?
He's got to be charged. Yes.
What started out as 4 serious charges has grown into a grand total of 10, all in the span of approximately 3 minutes.
Yeah. No, I figure that's just a lesson on what not to do, so you all are good.
The problem is, you don't want to play by anybody's rules. You want to play by your own rules.
Next, we go to Berea, Ohio for a probation hearing. The defendant's 18-year-old William Demopoulos. He's on probation for criminal damaging, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and obstructing official business. Things have not started off well, as Judge Chris Green is annoyed with Demopoulos for refusing to hand over his cell phone to a probation officer.
Give me that phone. What's in that phone you don't want us to find?
Nothing. I just didn't see no need for you guys to confiscate my phone and go through it. I mean...
And you play by your rules. You don't want to play by anybody else's rules.
When the judge hands the phone to a clerk, the defendant starts to retreat.
Come here. Hey. Come here.
No, man. No, man, this is not right, man. I'm telling you, it's not right. This system is so messed up.
Stand there. If you're going to act up, give me an officer. Give me an officer from next door.
Please, please.
No.
It doesn't have to be
I'm right now thinking about charging you with resistance.
Please, it doesn't have to be like this, John.
Stand there and stand like a man.
I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Then you're going to go to jail today.
Sounds like this teen is willing to give up his freedom for a phone.
What did we talk about with regard to following the rules?
To follow them.
And they told you to give him the phone?
I don't know why.
The judge breaks it down for Demopoulos.
When you are on probation, your probation officer has a right to take anything they want to take of yours. If they want to search your phone, they search your phone. problem is, you don't want to play by anybody's rules. You want to play by your own rules.
It's not like that, Your Honor.
Getting nowhere, the defendant changes his story.
It's not my cell phone.
Whose cell phone is it?
It's my brother's.
Then why didn't you tell them that? I need him handcuffed, please.
Even with deputies closing in, Demopoulos doesn't seem interested in cooperating. As quickly as Demopoulos hops over the table, the deputies tackle him to the floor.
You're gonna get paid. Stop resisting. Leave you unnecessary, man. Don't think when you so up, man, for real. Please stop, man.
That's the defendant's grandfather looking on.
Why didn't that happen, man? He doesn't even think. But why, though, man? Why does it have to be like this, man? Really?
It's like this because you make it like this.
It's way too fuck, man. Sorry.
My problem is I can't have someone on probation if they won't listen to their probation officer.
He has a problem. I know he has a problem.
Man, he's kind of like a little captive,
Yeah, he jumped.
He's very athletic.
Yeah.
The judge revokes the defendant's probation, and he's charged with resisting arrest. He's sent to jail for 40 days. Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam. Subscribe to A&E to never miss a new video and catch full episodes on aetv.com.